Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, podcast that all GDQers listen to.
All the peoples
that are speedrunning stuff.
Yeah, that's how we get listened to.
Things
by the the speedrunners.
Such a complete thought, Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
I like to have those from time to time.
You probably should start.
Maybe someday.
And throw off our avid listeners.
Tomorrow.
Oh my God, yeah, I know. Ed Boon, he's done now.
He's done. He's like, well, I guess I'm done.
He's like,
with that.
I gotta go hang out with Matt Smith now because I can't deal with these people.
Can't do it. Well, my name is Brian.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Manda again.
And I'm Katelyn.
Woo! And welcome, Manda. Unfortunately, we are down Zach this week, but Manda's stepping in as always. And then we also are missing for the next couple of episodes, unfortunately, Troy. But he'll be back. He'll be back eventually.
He will be back.
He better be back.
This might be my second to last, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
that's right. Yeah, 'cause you be moving.
Yeah, unless we, but
You're moving on up.
Moving on
Up.
Yeah, up.
Literally up.
Yeah, up
Northward.
to New York.
I'm dying. I mean, New York.
It's pretty much the same
It's
thing.
pretty much.
Death or New York.
Death, New York. Hand in hand.
Roughly, yeah. Depending on where you go. Yeah.
So you get mugged as soon as you get there, or is it like a time period?
No,
Do you get
I
like an honorary mugging?
feel like the flight attendant mugs you.
Oh, okay, good.
As you
good,
land.
okay.
You see, I think it's once you get your key. Because once you get your key, that means you're a resident and you have to get mugged.
And then someone says, "Oh, congratulations, welcome to New York," and then stab.
Do you get to pick your mugger? Is it like
I don't
a
think
2
it's.
o'clock mugging?
I don't think you get to
it?
choose. I think you just get a random one selected for you.
I think it's like when you have to like pick a card, you subconsciously choose your mugger.
Oh,
So
they
like
know,
you
they
see
know.
them, they make eye contact with you, and without even realizing it, that's your mugger.
Yeah.
It's really for your own good.
It is.
They're like, look at that guy, poor guy. He's never been mugged. He'll make no friends in New York.
Yeah.
He'll have no mugging stories.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, he just looked at me. He wants. I'll do it now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Pokemon. Hey, he chose me. Well, I guess we should just get started.
Yeah.
This episode.
There goes all our New York listeners.
Yeah, nice sweet preamble there.
They understand.
That's true. They live it.
Yeah.
No, that goes to all of our New Jersey listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're not really a state anyways. So.
Barely a people. Continue.
Barely. Yeah. And continue. Let's go with what we've been playing this week, as per always. Amanda, you know the name of your game. So what did you start this week?
Yeah.
I do know the name of my game now. So I was convinced that it was Dragon Village, and I have played probably 15 hours of this game. So to have been convinced to this point that it was Dragon Village is impressive. It is not. It is Dungeon Village for the Switch. It's from the makers of Game Developer Story.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same game. But that's the game I wanted. So
Is it good?
It is. It's from Kairosoft, I think is how
Kairosoft.
Kairosoft.
Yes, I love their games.
Yeah. And it's the same loop that you're used to. Like you're in the same way in Game Developer Story you made video games and then you unlocked more stuff and you made more video games. So it is just the guise of a really good clicker.
Yes, it is.
But in this one you have shops. So you build like a little town, and then you have heroes, and you can level up heroes and give them equipment. And then the better your shops are and the better your heroes are, the more dangerous dungeons they can go into. And then the dungeons give you stuff to build more shops. And then you kind of can continue that forever. And then you can do like town events. You have like a parade. And then periodically, the reason I got the game, because it has dragons in it, is periodically dragons come to attack your town. And then you have to beat them up. So, but again, the same game developer loop where you can play this game literally forever.
How much was the game?
I think it was $15. No, it might have been $19. Between $15 and $19.
Really? Is it?
But no more than 20.
But
Yeah.
no more than 30.
I'm wrong. It's like 42. I'm just completely
It's
off.
like, hey, this is a AAA game right here, $40.
No, they're not very much. And I'm
No.
sure, I don't know if this one's available on the phone, but I know some of the other ones are.
I think it
is.
is.
It
I
is.
just looked it up, and it literally said free download.
Yeah, it's
why'd I pay for it?
because you're a sucker. Yeah,
It looks really good on the Switch.
I was about to say I'm actually very surprised. I'm happy it did, but I'm very surprised it made its way to Switch because the now thinking about it, that's a perfect game for Switch. Actually, almost every single one of their games are. They've been around for many years. I've been playing their games for, I think, since Game Developer Story came out, which I think is in like 2011, maybe even earlier. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it was somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I always play them on their phones and on my phone, and then like every month I would just look up Kairosoft just to see if they released anything else. So they have a lot of games.
Yeah, they have a hot
released.
tub one.
Yep.
They have a general business one.
Yep. They have a soccer one. They have a horse racing one.
Ninjas, I think.
They have a ninja one. Yeah, they have Ninja Village. They have a high school one. They have it's literally everything you could think of. They have one for. But I do like the Dungeon Village one. That one's fun.
Yeah, and there are dragons. So
yeah,
I played it for the podcast. I played it for you at home.
You're welcome, Ed Boon. So how long have you played it for?
Like I said, probably about 15 hours.
15
It's
hours,
not very long for one of those games, and I can
Sure.
definitely see where it's going to end. Like, there are only so many slots, and they're filling up. So.
Yeah, I love their like stupid characters that they have. Like, like always the best character in the game is their mascot, which is the Kairobot, and it's always the best character in the game.
Yeah, every adventurer who joins my village already has a name, and they're all super silly. Like there was Gilgamesh was like
Wow.
It was pretty great, but it is surprising that it is $20 because I think their games are normally only like $7.
I was surprised.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
or whatever. But I mean, I completely get it because Nintendo's got to get their cut. They got to do all
Yeah.
that
I would
stuff,
assume that's why, because I looked it up and just looking up images, I'm like, oh, this must be a pretty cheap game, and it's $20. And I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, it's showing up as 5 on the App Store for me.
that's a priest.
But it's so small.
Yeah.
You need it if you want it on the TV.
Oh yeah,
you
no.
wanted it on the TV
It's
stuff.
worth the extra.
It's always worth it for the Switch for
$12.
me.
On the televisions.
Oh no, again, that's a perfect game to be on there. Nice. I'm glad that you played that game. I didn't even know that was on a Switch. How about you, Lewis? What'd you play?
I touched just a tiny bit of the game My Friend Pedro,
Okay.
which is by the developer Dead Toast.
Okay. And what's it about?
It's about so you're this guy who is just kind of being manipulated by a talking banana.
Fun.
Yep. Manipulated by a talking banana to kill people. To kill like bad people, like mobsters in this city. And he's manipulating you and saying, yeah, kill these people. Yeah, oh, they're a bad guy. Oh, good job. Good job killing those people. That was real fun.
Does the banana get more rotten progressively throughout the game?
I haven't played that much.
Okay.
I played a
'Cause I
little
feel
bit.
like it needs to.
I played a little bit, and then I was like, this isn't that fun for me.
So it's like the Son of Sam with a banana.
Yes. It wasn't that fun for me, honestly. I thought it was going to be more fun. I regret buying it. So much regret.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But you get to talk about it.
Yeah, I get to talk about it, but I could have bought a better game.
Was it expensive?
It was like $20.
Oh, that's not too bad.
You
I mean,
could have
that's
got
too much
Dungeon
for a
Village.
game.
Yeah,
I
you could have
didn't.
gotten Dungeon Village.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's too much for a game that I ended up not caring about.
Well, how many
Yeah.
hours did you put into it?
I put like maybe 2 hours into it.
Maybe go on some more. Maybe
Yeah.
2 hours.
I
I'm like,
know.
I'm,
I'm with
more,
you.
I'm like,
maybe
if I don't like
more-
a game after 2 hours, whoa, dude.
I always
already
equate
has
it to
DLC.
sandwiches.
Huh?
Like, I always equate it to sandwiches. Like, did it cost as much as like 2 sandwiches? Did you get 2 sandwiches worth of enjoyment about it? Because it wouldn't take you 2 hours to eat 2 sandwiches.
And also, $20, I can get more than 2 sandwiches.
Well,
I mean, depends
you
on
don't
where I'm,
get very good
depends on where I'm
sandwiches.
getting
Yeah.
the sandwiches. Like, what are we talking about? These
We're not
where are
talking
where are
like
these
dollar
sandwiches
menu
coming?
burgers
I'm not
here.
talking about dollar menu burgers. I can get 2 like public subs for like less than $20.
half subs.
I can get 2 full ones for
No, you
$20.
cannot.
2 full ones for
No,
$20.
with taxes?
Unless you're getting vegetarian, no.
No.
Nah, girl.
You can get like 2 La Spada subs, but like small. Like you can't
Yeah.
even get like the big ones.
Like, I mean, I don't pack my sandwiches crazy, so it doesn't really cost me that much. If you pack it with like chicken tenders, and why are we talking about Publix?
Because they are the best subs out there.
Point is, the game I don't think was worth the $20 for me. I've played 2 hours, and for me, if I play a game for 2 hours and it doesn't interest me, that the game isn't worth it.
What'd you buy it
get
on?
that.
Switch.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why it was $20, which, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, maybe at the end it actually is. you're like the Son of Sam killer, and actually those were all good people. You just murdered them because of a banana.
And maybe, but I just wasn't having as much fun. And the thing is, it's almost like a side scroller kind of game, but it uses like 3D models for the characters and stuff. And playing Moonlighter, which is like a 16-bit game, roughly is way more fun. Yeah. And way more interesting than this game. Well, I didn't pay for Moonlighter, but Moonlighter is like $30, and I think that's well worth $30. Yeah, like and then some.
I agree.
Yeah, this banana game already has DLC slated to come out. I think according to Devolver Digital's E3.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm not gonna get it.
Even if it's free, he's like, no.
Yeah.
No. Oh, maybe if it's free. I already paid for the actual game.
So you said you didn't like it, but you didn't say why. So what is it? Is it just not engaging? Or?
It's just it's a bit because it gives you a lot of these things that you can do. Like you can slow down time, and when you slow down time and when you jump to shoot people, your person does like cool flips and stuff. And then you can also dodge while you're doing all these things. But and it says, oh, you can log on to 2 people at one time, and it's like, oh, cool. So I'm moving through the air. I can lock on, so it locks onto one person, but then my other gun is just aiming at nothing, so I have to aim at someone else, but at the same time, with the same analog, I have to be moving. So it just seems like unnecessarily complicated in terms of controls.
Okay.
For some stuff that would be really, really cool if I think it was just laid out better.
One
just
day,
wasn't very intuitive.
it's going to hit you and you're going to get it, and then it'll be a great game.
I mean, maybe.
That's just my guess. I don't know. I've never played it.
The game, the game originally came out on computer for like Adult Swim games. Mm-hmm. So I assume it was much easier to manage. And when I saw the video of the game, the tricks that people were doing, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. But now after playing the game, I'm like, that's probably a video from the computer.
Mouse and keyboard, yeah.
I'm like, that's probably a video from the computer. You sneaky bastards.
They should have taken advantage of like the movability of the Switch. Like with Zelda, when you're shooting the arrows, you can move the Switch to aim. They should have done something like that.
Maybe, but this game's also a side scroller.
Yeah. But at least something.
You know,
maybe you'll play it again. Maybe you won't.
Maybe I will.
We'll figure it out.
It's on the Switch.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. So for you personally, nah.
Not worth it. Okay. No. But I'm not gonna delete it because I have so much free space on the Switch.
Yeah. So one day you might try it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
You might be on the airplane and be like, all right.
I'll be like, I'm going to try you again. Ah, right. That's why I don't like you.
Well, I still have another hour on this plane.
It's like, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go next.
Yeah,
I played The Outer Wilds.
Was it good?
It's really good.
Oh, wait. That's not to be confused with
not The Outer Worlds.
The Outer Worlds, which is the game that I'm excited for.
Which is the game you guys are excited
No, I'm excited for The Outer
Wilds.
Wilds.
The Outer Wilds is fantastic.
Is it?
I pre-ordered it on because it's an Epic Store exclusive. Mm-hmm. So I pre-ordered it on Epic during their like $10 off sale or whatever. So every game that was over $14.99, they gave you $10 off. So and that worked for pre-orders as well. So I was like, oh, done. So I think it was like either $10 or $15 after the $10 discount. I don't remember, but it's fantastic. It's a great little loop. Unfortunately, I can't even say all that much because the entire game is about you finding out everything on your own. It's kind of like The Witness, where you have to like, all right, here, let me show you this, and then you have to deduce what to do from here. And I will say it is basically Groundhog's Day in space.
I hate that it's only on, computer and Xbox?
I don't know. All I know is it's on PC. I'm sure it probably is.
It's an Epic exclusive, so I would assume it's just PC.
No,
I don't know. I think it's supposed to
I think it's
come out.
Microsoft.
Yeah. It might be, yeah. I think you might be right, actually.
Either way, I won't be able to play it ever.
Yeah. So. It might come out on the Switch. The game, the graphics aren't too intensive on it.
Okay.
But because I bought it on the PC and I was like, all right, I'm going to play with my mouse and keyboard because it's first person. And then like as soon as you start the game, it's like, this is best used with a controller. I was like, all right, okay, I guess I'll plug in my controller. Oh, it absolutely is. I cannot imagine doing a lot of those things on a mouse and keyboard.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like doing your spaceship, there's a whole lot of like using both analog sticks as well as your shoulder buttons and everything else. So me playing No Man's Sky, which I think I saw you playing, Manda.
Yeah.
I didn't see you playing earlier this week. But playing No Man's Sky, I got a lot. It made me do like jump pack a lot easier, or a lot more intuitive. So this is a lot more reminiscent of that. So it's like, oh, this is great. I know how to do this.
Fun times.
It's great.
Yeah. I saw a video of Outer Wilds, and that's why I was in No Man's Sky. I was like, oh, I should go back to No Man's Sky.
I actually miss No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I saw you.
Have you played it recently since they did all of the new content?
I think I dabbled with it a little bit, but I haven't really been able to get back to it, honestly.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember I love the environment of No Man's Sky and the music. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that now with purpose.
Yeah, and Outer Wilds has the same thing where you take off from a planet and
Yes.
then you leave, like there's no load screen. Like you leave
No, there
the
isn't.
atmosphere, you're in space, and when you land somewhere else, you go back through the atmosphere and then you land.
Yeah, I love
There's
that.
like
That's something I love.
however, every single planet, it's not very big.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's actually phenomenal because like some of the planets you can actually go to the core, and when you go to the core, you see the curvature of everything around you because it really is like from that Rick and Morty episode where they walk around the core when they're hiding out. It's that. So you're basically like walking, you see the curvature, and like, oh, I'm back where I started. But man, like the game is really good. It's because everything's only in 22-minute increments.
Oh my gosh.
And then you start back over again.
Interesting.
So it's like for me, I was like, all right, I get the gameplay loop. We'll see where this goes. And like as it's going on, I'm like, all right, I can see, probably playing this for like a couple of hours. Get a couple of loops in. But there's so many things that are time sensitive that it's like as soon as you get your loop back, you're like, I have to immediately go here in order to have enough time in order to do this.
Very Majora's Mask.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, exactly. So I have to definitely do this thing first. All right, cool. I was able to do this one thing. Let me see if I can get anything else done in this 22-minute loop. All right, let me go back now. Now that I kind of know this, let me go to this other thing that is also time sensitive. And it's just a whole lot of that. And as you're going on, it's like, wow, there's a lot to this. Like, you kind of need to be smart in order to realize what's going on because there is a lot of like actual astrophysics and a lot of stuff going on where it's like, yo, they put a lot of thought into this. Holy crap. Highly recommend it though. It's awesome. It's very good.
Sounds nice. Nice. Hopefully it'll come to the Switch or something.
Yeah, I hope it does because I'm playing with a PS4 controller. I started off with an Xbox controller, but my Xbox controller died. So I went to move to a PS4 controller, and it's great. Oh, nice. It's really good. How about you, Katelyn, rounding up?
Yeah. So I have a bunch of miscellaneous games. I didn't just jump into one game this week. I have like a bunch of miscellaneous. So when I was in New York, Crash Team Racing came out.
Yes.
So we played a bunch of that. And it has, though I enjoyed it, I still think Mario Kart is superior. Yeah. So it was fun though. Like they require too much drifting that I'm really bad at, especially with their system. Like I would pretty much have to like, what's it, Soloming? Whatever. How do you say that word?
Slalom.
Yeah, slalom.
Yeah, that. When listen, Katelyn has been playing New Job game this week, so she's very tired.
New Job Simulator.
Yeah, New Job Simulator
with different hours.
Very different hours. So that's why I've been a lot of miscellaneous games throughout the week.
I understand that.
But so I had that. I've been playing Wizards Unite, which I really enjoy because that came out this week. I know we want to talk about it.
We'll talk about that a little later because I played a little bit of that.
Yeah. Pokemon Go, I can't play as much anymore because my new job is not near it. I've been playing Cadence of Hyrule though, and I've been really enjoying that.
Nice. Yeah, I've been. My wife's been playing it, so it's nice looking over and seeing it.
It's really fun. I really enjoy the graphics and everything. Playing without headphones on, very difficult.
Yeah.
Even when I just have the sound on without headphones, it's still very difficult because there's a you can only move along to the beat whenever there's a bad guy essentially in your screen. So
that's kind of cool.
It's really cool and fun. And there is a visual aspect to it. And I've gotten the hang of the visual aspect, but I also lose that very quickly in certain screens when there's so many bad guys on the screen and you're like, oh God, which monster do I, oh wait, no, trying to plan it all out. You stop paying attention to the bottom and then the sound really helps.
Yeah. And Katelyn's white, so she doesn't have rhythm.
I have no rhythm. Y'all have seen my dancing.
Yeah.
I don't have rhythm. So.
All right.
Yeah, those are my main.
Those are your games.
Did at least Crash Team Racing like give you a crash course and drifting?
Yeah.
Dear God, man.
We found out something annoying with that too. So we were playing.
More than Crash?
Yeah. So we were playing without the internet because we were just playing. It was Zach, myself, and then Zach's friend. We were all playing on the Switch with the 3 controllers, and it was all like fun. And they don't give you coins for playing with your friends unless you are connected to the internet, even if you're not using the internet. Wow. So he didn't get any coins for the races, and that was really aggravating. And I was like, that's really poor design because local play I should not need the internet for at all.
No,
I agree. That's dumb.
So
all right.
Well,
just throwing that out there. That was annoying.
That is sad news.
Yeah.
sad news.
Did they have that thing where the lights go from like red to yellow to green, and then like if you click start on yellow that you like rev your engine and then go?
Yeah, but it's 3 red lights and then there's a green light.
But you can start your engine before the last red light.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Because that's
the only way to even get close.
Right. That's the only way to play a racing game. And if that didn't exist, then that would be like a very low bar.
Oh, no.
Automatically, game out the window.
Unless you're one of those cheaters that hangs out in like 12th place and then gets all the good items and then boosts up to first.
That was me for most of the race, but I was not able to boost up to first. I think one race I won, but that was one where it was just the 3 of us.
Come on, man. 12th or nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty much me.
Well, nice. Eclectic version of games that we all played.
Yeah.
A little bit different of everything, so that's pretty good. I think has Troy been playing anything while he's up there? Does he at least have like Overwatch or anything?
He is playing Cadence of Hyrule.
Oh, okay, he is that.
He called me on the messaging, and I got to hear a bit of it. It just sounded really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I do like hearing my wife play it just like next to me. I'm just like, da, da, da.
It's very good ambient noise, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty great. All right, well, good games, everyone. Let's
good games.
Go on to the news this week. News. Let's start with I guess some political-ish stuff.
Ooh.
Somewhere we've never gone before. There's going to possibly be some tariffs on the game consoles. So all the game console people of like Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony have all kind of banded together and just been like, nah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because I think it's like something like 23% or something like that they're going to put a tariff on, which, it's, is going to make it, probably at least $100 roughly in order to... more the consoles are going to be. So especially with the new console generation coming out next year.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
How the PS5 and the whatever was
Xbox
Scarlet.
Yeah, Scarlet. Yeah. I mean, and they don't really make almost zero money on the consoles because that's the only way to make them affordable. They make everything software side.
Yeah.
And on licensing. So yeah, that's going to be a little weird.
I'm not looking forward to that. It just means there's going to be so much more money. For a console. Yeah,
so they all banded together to try to get the president to not do that, because that would suck.
Yeah, but that's probably not going to work.
It sucks, but it is cool seeing all 3 of them band together for something.
Yeah.
Like I can't play. It took forever to be able to play Rocket League between the 3, but tariffs come up, and now.
And now they're like, oh, so we're friends?
Yeah,
we're friends.
So this is as important as Fortnite is what we're saying.
That's
Fortnite's more important, Brian. Let's be real.
It was, considering that's what first got them to kind of band together. Yeah. So we'll see where this goes. Hopefully it doesn't get enacted, because that would severely limit the console
that would suck,
sales.
Man.
Yeah.
Here.
I'd be riding that PS4 train for a while then.
Yeah. You got the Switch as well.
I mean, yeah, but PlayStation.
I bet Stadia's just sitting back being like, bah, ha, ha.
Yeah. They're like, yes.
He's got a MAGA hat on.
Yeah. My Chromecast. And then segue into more political stuff. They're trying to get game developers to unite. I think Bernie Sanders threw his hat in the ring for that. Amanda, you have some more information on that,
you
correct?
know some stuff.
I do. So Bernie Sanders came out for the unionization of video game developers. And in the article I read, they said that video games last year were a $43 billion industry.
Yeah, with a B.
Yeah, with a B. And for the amount of money that they make, the video game workers have not as much rights as they would like. And the examples that they pulled out was Telltale Games. That for those of you that don't know how poorly the studio went south, is they laid off 250 people with no severance and no warning. Jeez. So you went into work one day, and then the next day they were like, "Thank you for your service. We have no way to pay you anymore."
Yeah,
good work, guys. Bye.
And then just this year, Blizzard Activision laid off 800 employees. Not quite in the same way that Telltale did, but
still not great.
It's still very rough.
Yeah. And we've all heard the horror stories about people working 80-hour weeks, or people, just having to give up family time and holiday time to get
free
a video
time,
game out. Yeah,
personal life.
Calling it the crunch.
Yep.
And they're hoping that the unionization can help with that. There's definitely critics that say that the unionization won't prevent the things that are happening, but for the people that are interested, they're very positive about the proposed changes.
Yeah, it's possible it won't change the culture, but at least they might get paid for it, or they might be compensated for it in some way.
It's just baffling considering, I mean, as you just said, the amount of money that the video game industry makes. The fact that those things are happening, it's like one of the biggest money makers in the world.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a problem that perpetuates itself.
Yeah.
Where they spend all of the money before the game is out, and then they don't have any more money. So we had to finish it before September or nothing's going to happen. And then we're really upset if the game doesn't come out and it's good, but then they don't want to delay. So it's like, well, what do we do? But
I don't know.
Working people to death doesn't seem to be the good answer.
I feel like there's maybe it's a small community of people that believe that taking time is better. I mean, I would prefer them to delay a game than for them to rush a game.
I think that's a newer culture, and that's starting to get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because before the internet and before we even knew behind the curtains type stuff, if something got delayed, it'd be like, boo, you know, why would you delay something? This is such a hit moneymaker. Why wouldn't you just release it?
Yeah.
And then now that we all know what actually goes on behind the scenes and actually see the people that are actually making these games, like our Dragons of the Week and all this other stuff. There's actually voices and something to look at that's like, hey, this is killing us.
Yeah.
We can't perpetually do this.
Yeah, very true.
And so you're actually seeing somebody that you actually have a name and a voice to, that it's kind of like a celebrity that's saying this. It's much more meaningful
Very
now.
True. And actually, you know what? I did feel that way for the past, I don't know, it's 10, 12 years for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Just constantly pushing it. And then when the game finally came out 10 to 12 years later, it still felt very rushed.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, glad you guys took a long time. I'm glad it did nothing.
Yeah.
For you.
So now, some companies, especially I think at E3, that was one of the things that a lot of companies behind the scenes were telling everyone, hey, we're actually going to try not to kill our developers doing this.
Yeah.
Like Fortnite, even though that makes, so much money, that is highly known for being crunch. Mm-hmm. They are in and since it's a games for service, it's a live service, they're just in perpetual crunch.
Constant.
And it's free to play.
And
so
it's free to
people
play.
have to keep buying things.
Exactly.
So they have to keep making some of that new buy content.
Yeah. So Apex came out and was like, hey, the reason why we're not coming out with stuff as often is because we're trying not to kill our developers. We want to actually have them have a life and all this other stuff. So I hope you'll understand, and will support us for this. And then so I think that's going to be you're going to start to see the tide change a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was with Animal Crossing too.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what it was.
Which was really, I thought that was great. Even though I don't play the game, that's one thing I truly appreciated about that Animal Crossing announcement.
Yeah,
it made it so I wasn't sad, because I was sad it wasn't coming out this year, but when they were like, it's because we don't want to kill our workers, I was like, oh, okay, then I'll wait.
Damn.
Especially for a Japanese company. The Japanese corporations, normally that's what they do. It's not even that's just a culture thing. That's not even a, out of the blue or out of the ordinary type thing.
That's any industry over there.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I prefer delay from now on. Just like Red Dead was delayed almost a year. Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And yes, at first I was angry because I had pre-ordered the game.
It only delayed because you pre-ordered it.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the game.
I pre-ordered it like a good while before, and then it said nope, delay, and I'm like, well, damn it. But after playing, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm glad for the delay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There is a silver lining though. They did have one really good example. So the creators of Night in the Woods, and this is a very small company, so obviously this is a little different. But they started a new development studio called the Glory Society. And it has 11 employees, and regardless of their position, they're all being paid the same.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
They're calling it an anarcho-syndical workers cooperative.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
Is there an acronym for that?
No.
Okay.
Nope. It's just that weird worded thing.
Yeah. I remembered it already.
Yeah.
I won't tell you it, but I remembered it.
I know the words.
It had anarchy in it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Anarchy.
That's it. That's all you need.
Anarchy group. That's what I heard.
It always works out so well.
Oh, especially when you have deadlines and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think I forget what company did it. I can't remember if it was a bigger company who does it, but they don't have everybody's equal. There's no actual bosses. Where I don't think they get paid the same, but nobody answers to one another. It's just like a collaborative
I think
process.
that's Zappos.
It might have been.
Is that the shoe company?
No, it's an actual game company. It's an actual. One of the game companies do that where there's no like actual boss or anything like that. They just have everybody's on an even playing field. If you do, game design, you're an equal to the art person, and to this and to that. I really wish I could remember what the name of the studio was.
Yeah,
but that's what they do.
Yeah, they say management's really redundant, that it was really integral when you had like a factory type job where you needed a foreman and then a bunch of workers and someone to like maintain everything. But now that we're not in that type of industry anymore, that things are largely cooperative, that role is not as important. So.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel it, yeah.
Feel it in my
Because
nuggets.
bosses are stupid.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Joe.
I always have a boss. I'm married. I go home. I have a boss. I need one, though. I'm not going to lie.
Troy and I are partners.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah, partners.
Right.
We know. And then let's see here. Let's go on to Google Stadia. I think they announced that you have to buy games at full price. Is that correct, Manda? Something like on those lines?
They did, and this is only like half news because it's not very shocking.
Yeah.
It's like they came out with an article to be like, yeah, we're gonna offer all of these games, and you will have to pay for them full price.
Yeah.
So I know they have their service, so obviously you'll get those service games. But if you wanted to buy a game that isn't on the service, or if you didn't want to sign up for the service, then just getting like Assassin's Creed would still be the $59.99 that it normally is.
Okay, that is news though, because we were all were wondering how that would work if it wasn't offered on the service. Could you even play it? So that's good. That's good news. Let's see here. The Steam summer sale started.
Oh, my wallet knows that.
Yeah, everybody saved that money.
Yeah, money.
Getting the emails. You have 21 games on your wish list on sale. It's like I didn't even realize I had that many games on my wish list.
Yeah,
that many games exist?
I will tell you now, at least 15 of them are Nancy Drew games that I was just waiting to go on sale to rebuy because I lost the physical disc.
Oh, girl.
Yeah. Hey, that's how it goes,
Yeah.
But the mini game, so they usually have a mini game every year. For each one of their sales, have an individual mini game. This mini game is confusing a lot of people because you have to choose a team, and then so there's 5 different teams. There's like Fox, Corgi, a couple other things, and then the top 3 teams that finish each day, random members of those teams will get some of their a game on their wish list for free. Like they'll just give it to them.
So, I need to start playing this game.
Yeah. So, but people are kind of confused on how to get their points and how to get quests and whatnot like that. And it's basically you just have to play your games. Like every single day, you'll see it'll list 9 different games and different objectives you have to complete in those games, and you'll get points.
Oh, that's cool.
However, it's having the kind of opposite effect on their wish list because a lot of people used to have a lot of games on the wish list, and so like a lot of indie games would get kind of propped up in sales charts or in different algorithms. They would get propped up. However, now that they're getting a random wish list game, people are dumping the lower cost games,
just throwing on their $60
just throwing on
games.
their higher cost games. So a lot of the indie developers are like, yo, this is killing us. Like I get what you're doing here, but we're getting a lot less wish lists, and we're getting dropped a lot.
That's
So
sad.
it was one of those, oh, I see this is a great idea. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. not that way. But, hey, save that money, though. It's going on, I think for another week after this episode will drop.
I think so.
Yeah, something along those lines. But save that money. And let's see here. Wizards Unite released.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
I love it.
I wanted to like it so much more. It's not that it's just not. There's just something that's not there for me personally. That's like, oh, I want to constantly play this.
It just seems like, again, I played the game for a little while, and as I was playing, I was still getting tutorial stuff for a good while. I got more tutorial in this game than in any console video game I've ever played.
You played a Final Fantasy, right?
Yes, and I'm like, this felt like it was explaining more to me.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Final Fantasies don't give you tutorials; they give you a manual and say, "Good luck."
It just felt like this was like explaining more to me. And Joe was saying that if you're a kid and like you don't read particularly well, you can't play this game, and that's 100% true, because all the tutorials are just word heavy, like explanations of like these characters talking at you, just nonstop. And I'm like, I started skipping stuff. I'm like, this is I'm done with this. I'm like, this is dumb. This is done for me.
It is a game for people who like the book.
No,
Yes.
for
Right?
sure. No,
Yeah.
it is, and
So
I love the
people
books.
who read.
I love the books, but because it's one of those app games that kids are going to try to they see Harry Potter on it, they're going to just grab it and try to play it right away.
They'll be able to put enough pieces together without reading it, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't read it, you just still get to make the circle shape. and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing
You realize the
disappears
things, the pots are moving around. Let me pick a pot. You realize the plates are moving around. Let me pick a plate.
Yeah, I guess there just seems like a lot more.
They're not
going to
get the mystery or whatever behind it, but that's fine.
I do appreciate that there is more than just like like a single Pokemon or whatever. There's like different
Agreed.
things that you tap on
Right.
and you get different things for it. And then there's also not just a Pokestop and then gyms. You have your greenhouse, you have your inns, you have,
which is pretty cool.
yeah. you have all these different your restaurants or whatever, and you have all these different things, which I do appreciate and I do like how there's also a secondary function to almost all of them as well.
Yeah.
There's, like I said, there's just something for me personally that's just not there, and I don't know what it is.
I found that most people who are still playing Pokemon Go, or people who really liked Pokemon Go, didn't like this game. And I think if you hold them up to each other, Pokemon Go's been out for a really long time, and they've been able to fix all of the things. So when you compare it directly to the game that's been out for a week, they're like, well, it doesn't have any of these things, and it doesn't have that, and I don't like this. And it's like, well, yeah, but it also hasn't been out for 2 years. Like, they haven't had time to, like, iron those out. But also, like, you can't play both.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's too much time.
You have the Pokeball.
For most people.
If you have the Pokemon Go Plus, you just have that on in the background, so then your Pokemon, it's catching the Pokemon for you and spinning the stops, and then you can play the Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did any of you guys? Okay, we all know what Pottermore is, right?
Yes.
Yes, the Harry Potter website where you can get sorted, get your wand, get your Patronus, all that stuff.
All that good.
The original Pottermore was not necessarily like the Pottermore it is today. The original Pottermore, my sister had to wake me up at like 1 a.m. like 2 or 3 a.m. And we had to sign up to hopefully get in the beta so we could actually do it. So you would get sorted into your house, and then you would compete against the other houses to get points for your house by making potions and doing a couple of other mundane tasks. The potions are just the ones that I always remembered the clearest because that's the one I liked. And in real time, you would be having to make these potions. So you would have to set timers on your phone to make sure that at 5 a.m, you got up and did this one stupid task so that the next step of your potion could start going. Otherwise, you wasted the 5 hours prior to make the potion.
Yeah.
And this is reminding me a lot of that, but a lot friendlier, which is
that just sounds
fine with
like
me.
a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah, and I do like that you do get to choose your wand. You do get to choose your house.
Yeah,
you get to
that's
choose
really
a
cool.
profession.
There are
Like the
really
profession,
cool aspects.
Yeah.
the profession's awesome. Like
Yeah.
like there's a separate leveling system that you have, and
It's
all
like a
that
skill
other stuff.
tree?
Yeah, skill
Yeah.
tree. Like you have, like they put a lot of thought into it. But then there's other things like the port keys, where it's like, why do I have to walk for this? And I do kind of get, and I get the explanation.
Yeah.
I get to turn it so many times. But I feel like for that, it's like, all right, then make it a time-based thing versus a walking distance.
Well, they had to do a walking thing.
But
Yeah.
I think, and I was going to go with, you can do, like, it's a time-based thing, but if you want to lessen that time, walk.
But I think they have to do a walking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pokemon with the eggs.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, just wait for the eggs. It's like, oh, no, you have to walk.
But that was a mechanic from the game, though. You used to have to walk a certain distance in the game,
right,
in order for time to pass in the game.
But I think one of the pulls of the mobile device is that some of the aspect is a pedometer.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So you're right. They had to like tie it to something that didn't make sense, but I don't think they could have gotten away with not doing a pedometer.
And I agree. I know. This is just one of my personal things. Why I get why, but I don't get why.
Like, you didn't have to walk your port key around for 2 kilometers before putting it down.
I can only turn this when I walk.
I'm not a wizard. I don't know. I mean, maybe they just cut that out of the movie. Maybe he had to walk around with a shoe for a really long time for the World Cup. But
that's what she edited out of the book. She's like, I don't think anyone wants to read people walking for hours on end to open a.
I feel like
she. No,
they would have just read Lord of the Rings then.
I feel like if she had edited that out of the book, we would have heard about it on Twitter.
I will say also the pictures that have been coming out of people setting up their avatars in Wizards Unite, so much better than Pokemon pictures. Like, yeah, sure, everyone got a Koi King and a frying pan when that first came out, but like seeing like Brian and Amanda both had very interesting pictures that they took the first day and shared with everyone, and I've seen other people on Twitter and stuff posting interesting pictures that they've taken with the different filters and whatnot, and you can unlock more filters. However, huge, I don't want to say the word scam because I feel that has such a negative connotation to it. And I only want a certain level of negative connotation to it. Being able to buy the Ravenclaw house stuff for $10.
Ouch.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They had that for every house. You would get your uniform, you'd get a sticker that flashes. Yeah. And then you'd get like $10 worth of coins. So, like, that made it worth it. But I don't want to buy $10 worth of coins. I just want to buy the other things in there.
Yeah.
You can earn... There's one robe that you can buy, and then just playing, you can earn the other house stuff.
Yes.
So, like, you couldn't get that robe, but it's not like, oh, I wanted to wear my Slytherin stuff, and now I can't wear anything Slytherin unless I spend money. It's just like that one.
Yeah.
But you got $10 is steep.
Yeah. I was like, because they were like any app I play for like more than a couple days, I'm like, yeah, sure, I will give you the intro pack for like $2 or $3 that they always have. Mm-hmm. This one I gave it day one because I knew it was Harry Potter, so I was going to play more. But like everything, I'm like, okay, you took enough of my time, you gave me enough joy, I'll give you the $3.
Yeah.
But then they were like 10 for the Ravenclaw kit, and I was like, I can't give you that.
I think of it like an investment. Like, are you going to buy at least 3 more of those $2? Because then it's basically
then it's worth it.
Yeah. The picture thing came about because at first I didn't want to take my picture. Like I clicked on the avatar thing, and the camera immediately came up. I was like, oh no. So like I switched out of it. I just did like a generic profile thing or whatever. It was just like my house. So I think it was like the Slytherin robe or whatever. And I was like, all right, dope. But I still had a notification over my image. And it's like, no, you have to take one in order to get this. In order to get this notification off. That's what I thought. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll take a picture then. So like I just started sorting through like all the different things I could put on myself. And I was like, all right, Hagrid's hair, I'm down. How else can I cover my face? Oh, glasses, done. All right, and then let me see what I can put on, what kind of robe I can wear. Oh, I can wear a giant Hagrid beard? Done. Took a really dumb photograph, put a frame around it. All right.
That's me.
And that was me. That was the only way it got me to take a photo.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So Brian Slytherin.
Yes.
Lewis is Slytherin.
Yeah, I am.
I'm Slytherin. And then
I'm Ravenclaw.
Yeah, the lone Ravenclaw. What is Zach?
He's also a Ravenclaw.
Okay, how about Troy?
A Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw. Okay. So we got 3 and 3.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but if we count your wife as well, she's also a Slytherin.
We do. So yeah, so 4 and 3.
Yeah.
It says something about us that there are no Gryffindors and or Hufflepuffs among us.
Oh man.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I hope it does well. I did get numbers or like unofficial numbers from its first weekend.
I know the first 24 hours it made over $300,000, but that's all I got.
It did. So people were comparing it to Pokemon Go because it's the same company, Niantic. So Harry Potter over the first 4 days, I think it got downloaded 1.1 or 1.3 million times, and it made I think I think it was 1.3 million people downloaded it, and it made $1.1 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. Whereas Pokemon Go, the first 4 days was downloaded 28 million times and made like 20-something $million.
Well, I mean, you can just see that it's not the same.
Oh, no, absolutely.
When Pokemon Go came out, it was just pandemonium.
Yes, it was.
People lost their nuts.
It was the closest we were ever getting to world peace.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, parks were just actually filled with hundreds of people just running around playing Pokemon Go.
And I do think it has something to do with like how much stuff costs.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, Pokemon Go was just a couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there, and that adds up. Whereas, you know, with this thing, like you said, $10 just for some robes. But then again, maybe that's not everything. Maybe that's just a couple of things. I think I'm like level 10, so I'm not like hugely leveled into it. But, you know, so I hope it does well, though. Like, I want it to exist because I love the map. The way the map looks on that is phenomenal. The way that it's like kind of like the Marauders map.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
It's great.
It's definitely always going to be a smaller market. I can't
so.
imagine that they expected it to Pokemon.
No.
Because
They
that was
can't.
just
There's no way.
That'd be
so
silly.
unique.
Yeah.
But I think it could be its own smaller thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree.
So something that I can compare price-wise with the Pokemon. So in Pokemon, you get, 500 coins for $5, something like that?
You get 540, I think. Yeah,
540.
Yeah.
So to upgrade either your bag that holds the Pokemon or your bag that holds the items is 200 coins.
Yeah.
In Harry Potter, you get 425 gold for $5.
Okay.
And to upgrade your vault is 475 pieces of gold. So $5 doesn't even let you upgrade one of your vaults.
No, I definitely upgraded my stuff before, and it didn't cost nearly that. It cost 100 to get 5 more for potions, and like 100 to get 10 more for. So is that the vault? No. That upgrades all of your vaults.
Okay,
but you can upgrade them individually, and it's cheaper. That's going to the shop and buying like the big vault upgrade is like a huge bump. But you can do the
small individual stuff.
Yeah,
425.
Yeah. And I think the other dichotomy that it is between it is like the bump up in vault space in here is like either 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Whereas in Pokemon, it's $2 and you get 50 extra spaces.
The stuff you get in Pokemon is different, though.
But that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely different. Like I completely see the difference.
Because I don't even want some of this stuff in Harry Potter, and that's something I wish I could do. Is if I get too much of one item, I wish I could say like don't pick that back up, or like like a cap. If it's more than this, don't pick it up. Or so I have to keep going back and deleting old stuff. But hopefully they'll fix that moving forward.
They'll iterate it and everything. So hopefully it does well. We'll go with that. We'll put a pin in it. Yeah, put a pin in it. We'll go back to it. Pin that. And then we'll go just one or two other things. First ever, Wolfenstein did not get censored in Germany. Which is very shocking considering it's against the law to do anything with Nazis in Germany.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can't do a Nazi salute. You can't do anything with a swastika.
They're trying real hard to distance
No,
themselves.
they just take it very seriously.
Yes,
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's entertainment for us, but it's history for them.
Yeah. It's history for everyone.
It's a dark part of their history.
Yeah, German law considers symbols like the swastika and gestures such as the Nazi salute symbols of anti-constitutional organizations.
Yep. So, I mean, hey...
Regrets.
Yeah.
So I think it's just on a case-by-case basis,
It's a case-by-case basis because displaying them publicly is illegal, but there are exceptions when the symbols are used for educational purposes or artistic purposes.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Like, for example, Man in the High Castle gets to use swastikas and stuff
when
because they're using it as an artistic and slightly educational. What if the Nazis won?
It's literally both, yeah.
And then Wolfenstein also, they're using it in the artistic / educational boat. So, but it's still going to be a case by case basis via video games and movies.
You put education in quotation.
Yeah,
no
quotation marks. It's like, hey, kill these Nazis.
Yeah. But it's showing the bad stuff the Nazis did.
Right.
Yeah,
in that sense, it's educational.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not glorifying.
And it's like, hey, what if you could kill them? Here you go.
Yeah.
The bad stuff, the neo-cyber fake magic Nazis.
Yes.
They had stuff.
And then we'll round out this week's news with big news from Katelyn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy Drew, what's going on with them?
The Nancy Drew video game had another update today.
Oh,
they
yeah?
sent out the email.
Oh.
Frank and Joe Hardy will both be in the new Nancy Drew, Salem and Midnight.
Snap. Frankie and JoJo. Give me that.
Oh my. I don't know if anyone's ever called him JoJo before.
Give me that good stuff.
We've heard of his bizarre adventures, though. And they are also known as the Hardy Boys, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Colloquially. Colloquially.
I am curious.
I'll never be able to say that word. Colloquially.
I am curious because I think it was Frank in the last game that Nancy and them interacted with had a huge crush on Nancy.
Oh, damn. My boy
So,
Frankie?
I'm
Damn.
I'm curious how this plays out because Nancy should only have eyes for Ned.
Hey.
Right, Nettie Stark.
No.
I haven't heard of any of these people. So Ned
Never
is
have
from.
I.
Ned Nickerson is Nancy's boyfriend.
Okay,
And
then
pretty
Frank.
much everything. Frank and Joe Hardy. They're the Hardy Boys.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So she's been in a game with them before.
Yes, they were in a Castle to Moon, or no, Train to Moonlight, something like that. Canyon of Moonlight, I don't remember. It was the one with the train. It was really good. Don't remember the name. They all have weird names.
So what's the next game coming out? What console?
It's PC only
Oh,
for right
interesting.
now.
Okay.
They have done they had a game on the Wii, and they had the game. My favorite is their game they had for DVD. So it was that one was real interesting. But they've had like a Game Boy Advance game. They've had a Wii game. They've had the DVD game, and then they have PC games, and then they have a Mac as well.
And for those people that don't remember, what's the title of this new sexy game?
It is called Midnight in Salem.
Ooh.
Sexy.
Yeah.
It's a sexy title.
And they are alluding to witchcraft and stuff like that.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd be making a mistake.
Like, I want them to just, for once, have something in Salem and have nothing to do with witches.
At all.
That's never gonna happen.
That's never a thing.
Did you know that they and this may be completely wrong. I think I read this somewhere, but they don't think that the Salem witch trials really happened in Salem. That they happened outside of Salem.
Yes.
So it's very funny that everyone's like the
Salem
big,
witch
and they're just
trial.
like,
Yeah, I
no,
did,
that
I
was
did
like
hear.
100 miles actually to the west. But there's
Meanwhile,
nothing over
Sam's like,
there.
shush.
There's nothing there. It's like woods.
Let us get the people visiting.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. It was the old man. Pull off the mask. All right. Well, that's this week's news.
Yeah.
Woot, woot.
Woot woot.
Yeah.
All right, what time is it now? Oh, I know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's that sweet D time.
Oh my God, Larry.
Troy is not here. It's Dragon of the Week, man.
Oh, right.
It's
In case you
Dragon
didn't
of
know,
the
that's
Week.
Dragon
sweet
of the
D.
Week.
Dragon of the week.
Dragon of the week.
Dragon.
Don't be a freak.
Oh, no. Oh, you could be. I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, give me that D, Brian. Give us that D.
It is my turn to give us the D of the week.
Yes.
And so my pick this week was going to be like 4 different other people, but I had no information on them. So if I ever get information on them, they will be later.
Yeah, they're on the list of maybes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but this week I'm going to go with the creator of Katamari Damacy, which is Keita Takahashi. He's an amazing person.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
No, I've only heard of that game. I've never played it. I've heard it's fun. I've heard it's oodles of fun.
It's really fun on the
It's
Switch.
amazing.
Tell us,
It's on the
Brian,
Switch?
but tell us.
I will tell you.
Wait, it's on
Learn
the
us
Switch?
something.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to learn you guys something. However, I'm going to preface this with this. He was only involved with the first 2 games. So like the next games, he was,
But he started it though.
Yeah, he started. He absolutely started.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. You'll find that out when I tell you.
Ooh, tell me some stuff.
So like all good people that are involved in games, he did not have a game degree or anything related to games when he first started out. He graduated in 1999 from an art university in sculpting.
Ooh.
Oh, I took sculpting. I get that.
Yeah. It was actually sculpting and fine arts, but then he ended up going with just sculpting. That's what he got his actual degree in. You know?
Sculpting, developing.
Yeah,
They
same
go
thing.
hand in hand.
You know, so but when he got his job, he graduated and he's like, I do need a job. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna try going for Namco. Why not? Sculpting.
Let's do it.
Apparently he bombed his interview though.
Aw.
But somebody there did see potential in him. So all right, I'll give you a job. So they got him a job. I think it was in the art department, and his boss was a very big believer in him though. So he's like, hey, you need to make a game that only you can make. Do a game. Figure it out and bring it to us. And so that ended up being Katamari Damacy. And in case you don't know, Lewis, the game is about so there's the king of all cosmos. He's an amazing person, right?
Right.
He kind of goes on a bender one night and destroys all the stars.
Of course.
Like you
like you do as the king of all cosmos,
Typical.
So, as a good, responsible parent, you send your kid to clean up your mess. So he sends your character, the prince, to gather things up on Earth and put it in a ball and then send it up to him so he can make new stars out of it. As you do.
Interesting.
And the things that you do are, you start out really small. So you start out with like paper clips and stuff like that. Right. And then by the end of the level, you will be rolling people into a ball and buildings. And
so this
later
game is
on,
just fun.
Yeah, later on it's planets.
All right, wow.
So it starts off small and it gets big. And it's one of those games that they initially weren't going to release out of Japan. There was just going to be, just a Japan-only game, but he championed it. He's like, no, I think this will actually work outside. And there was also a lot of demand, so they released it, and now we have Katamari Damacy outside, and it's a huge-ass game.
Yep.
And so that's as things do. He purposely made the game so that it would be different from every other game that's out there. He was tired of first-person shooters. He was tired of all these other games. He's like, I want something to be different. I actually want to change this industry. It did not work, but he gave it his good old college try, But after the game was over, Namco convinced him in order to make a sequel. He did not want to do it. He was just like, all right, fine, I guess I'll do it. So he did We Love Katamari, which was the direct sequel to it. And I think that was released in, I think the next year or a couple of years after. I forget what it was. So when he was done with that, he's like, all right, I'm kind of, or actually I think it was as he was developing that game or the game after, he was like, hey, I really want to develop playgrounds.
Yeah.
So the city of Nottingham in England came up to him and was like, hey, you said you wanted to develop playgrounds. Let's do this, man. Unfortunately, it never happened because I guess what he wanted to do was way above their budget. So it just, I think it was announced in like 2009, and then the project was officially over in 2012 because they're like, nah, this isn't going to happen.
It's like, you want too much. This is a playground. We need a slide and maybe a seesaw.
But this is the creator of Katamari Damacy. Like, what were you expecting?
He wants the
He wanted
universe.
just a place full of Legos and paper clips and stuff so kids could just roll each other.
Yeah.
He wants to create a universe in a playground.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But I think it was like the playground was supposed to be like full of like squishy things and like some other stuff because, not your conventional playground.
Yeah.
But as he was doing this, he was like, all right, he developed another game with Namco, which was Nabi Nabi Boy.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and it's basically Katamari, but not. And there's like no real goals. There's like no time limit. There's like no like direction in it. You just had your levels, and then you would do them.
Wasn't everyone had the same goal? You were all collecting things to help like Nami Nami Girl or something like that.
Yeah,
and
something
she was
like
getting
that.
like real long, and then everyone won.
Yeah,
everyone
won. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like there was no like every single level was like, hey, collect this. Hey, do this. Hey, there's this one specific mission to do. It's just like, oh no, just do this every time.
It was very zen. It was just like you do it at your own pace, and you just kind of enjoy the thisness of it.
That's exactly what it was, and it did not do well, unfortunately. So he ended up leaving Namco in I think 2011. And he formed his own company with his wife, who is a pianist and composer. And so the company that they formed was just to do like game design and to develop playgrounds. They were really into playgrounds. I don't know, man.
Someone's gonna make their playground one day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, one day it's gonna happen. Their company was called Uvula.
Oh,
right.
Interesting,
right?
Yeah.
Pretty darn interesting. I don't think that did anything because I tried looking up Uvula.
And nothing came up.
I didn't get any information on it, so I don't know if they just like collaborated on some stuff or anything. I don't know, unfortunately, but I do know he eventually moved to Toronto. I think like a year or two later, and he was doing this game called Glitch, That game shuttered it within a year.
Oh,
Like he's just having like the worst luck, man. Like he's got I got Katamari Damacy. Oh no. And then after that he moved to San Francisco to do like a bunch of indie projects and to just do maybe develop more playgrounds. I don't know. There's like a huge gap in between what I could find in between when he moved to San Francisco and now. What I do know is now he's planning on releasing a game called Wantam. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's a game about stacking. I know, it's shocking.
Whoa.
It's about like I think stacking people and whatnot. It was supposed to I think come out earlier this year, but it still has a TBD date. But he is also working on a game for Playdate, which is that new system with the Crank.
The Crank game?
Oh, yes.
Which it's called Crankin's Time Travel Adventure. And that's going to be released next year in 2020. And so
I know you're getting that.
Oh, I'm absolutely. If I can get a pre-order for it, I'm absolutely getting it. It's like absolutely. Like that is going to be money well spent.
You said he didn't change the industry, but did you see the game Holes?
Oh, that's true.
Just saying.
That is true. Like he definitely made a ripple.
Slow burn, Brian.
It was a slow burn. There was some aftershocks going on with that, and you did see some really weird games come out of it. It just I think he was hoping to change the overall industry versus just like little indie things. But I mean, his impact on the entire industry.
I mean, hey, some change is better than no change.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, Holes absolutely came out of that.
Oh yeah.
Several other clones came out of that. It's crazy, but I don't know. That's Katamari Damacy, and that is your Dragon of the Week, which is Keita Takahashi.
Yeah, beautiful D. That was some beautiful D, man. Thank you.
Did you enjoy it, Lewis?
I did.
Are you glad I showed it to the world?
I'm really glad that the world needed to see that D.
Needed to see it, man. But yeah, that's this week's episode, everyone.
Oh wow, that was it.
Already?
Yeah, already.
The Toddcast. The Toddcast.
Ooh, I like that. Let's put that on loop.
That's going to be the new Dragon of the Week song, Toddcast.
Welcome to the Toddcast.
Cast.
If DJ comes in.
Yeah,
I'm all about it.
We'll work on the theme song for next
Yeah,
week.
totally.
Get it done.
I want to see if you remember the theme song.
I barely remember it, and I wrote it.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be like a revolving door of words, like
Of random
just
things.
random
Sometimes
words.
the words dragons and week will make it in there,
Maybe,
but sometimes.
Probably.
Most likely.
Yeah. But once again, we film live upstairs inside of Tate's Comics, powered by our friends, the 3000 Brigade. Oh, yeah. They're pretty great. I think they have a show coming up later on this year. Yeah.
What? They do?
They might. I don't know. It's been announced yet. I think it's been announced.
If not, we totally didn't do it here.
Nope. Totally not.
I'll be there. No, I won't be there.
Don't say anything, Ed Boon. Oh, wait. He's not listening anymore. Damn it. But you can find us online on the Grams, the Facebooks, the website, tasteofdragons.com, the Twitters, the Podbean, everything. Stitcher.
You want us, we're there.
Stitcher.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty
know.
much.
That might be a site. I don't know.
Yeah, Stitcher.
Bam.
Some people use that for their podcast.
Oh, damn. I
You're
didn't
welcome.
know.
Yeah.
You right.
Yeah, that's me. Doing the guessing.
Brian doesn't get many wins.
Doing
I don't.
that- doing that
Let him
good.
enjoy this one.
Yeah.
I always get one. Maybe.
Joe allows it.
I always get one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. It works every time, 60% of the time. I stole that line, ish. Well, once again, that's this week's episode. My name is Brian.
My name is Lewis.
I have been Mandy.
And I am Katelyn.
Have a great week, everyone. Woo! Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Give me that D. Give me that D.
Oh, God.
Give me that D.
Why you gotta do that, Lewis?
It's a part of the song.